Energy for today, energy for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
Welcome. NNPC is the largest oil company in Africa. Nigeria is by far the largest country in sub-Saharan Africa. You know, I think the number is that 1 out of 4 people in sub-Saharan Africa live in Nigeria. So NNPC has a very big and responsible job as a custodian of the energy resources of Nigeria. And I think this is an opportunity to talk about how the company's changed, how you see the market. And one of the big changes is that NNPC, which has existed for a long time, has changed its model and is now an LLC. Can you tell us just about the change in the company and why?
Yeah, thank you. Again, of course, energy is everything. Very typical for national oil companies across sub-Saharan Africa, and largely too. They're not just oil and gas companies, they are energy companies in every aspect. So whatever happens in the national oil companies, it does affect countries and even regions. So for NNPC, perhaps clearly the largest oil and gas company in Africa, also the largest corporate entity in Africa, is very critical to Nigeria's resource management, Nigeria resourcing, funding of everything that we do in our country. It has a lot of connection with what happens in the NNPC. And therefore, in the past, this company was a corporation clearly owned by government, yes, but it wasn't a commercial company. You know, it does many things like typical of many past national oil companies. And we do need to move away from that situation to a reform process that took us to where we are today, convert it to a fully limited liability company. That means it's answerable to its shareholders. Yes, I understand today the shareholders are largely the overall population of the country, very understandable, but it's transiting to a situation where you can't have other people owning interest in this company. What it did was to create a company that must pay taxes, pay royalties, and also at the end is able to provide dividends to its shareholder. This is clearly not a money-losing business, and the oil and gas industry in Nigeria has matured to an extent that you can say any company in operating, not just us, can actually break even and actually make benefit. Therefore, what really happened today is you have a national oil company which is commercial, which has progressed from a loss-making company typically to now a profit-making company that is able to not just provide dividends to its shareholders, create value to its stakeholders and its partners, which are some of them are international oil companies, some are local oil companies, in a manner that it benefits all, but ultimately a fully accountable company that can actually migrate ultimately to a quoted company.
So we'll have public shareholders, and will the government give up its ownership?
Yes, it is, because it's clearly in the law established in the company. What happened was that there was a reform process backed by a law. It's called the Petroleum Industry Act. And what that did is to provide a pathway to getting this company quoted so that others can buy shares. So it does create that opportunity. It never existed in the past. And therefore, ultimately, at maturity, this company's shares will be owned by others.
Yeah. There's not a date for this, or is?
Yeah, the law anticipates within 3 years of incorporation of the company, you can start the process.
Right.
And therefore, it is within sight.
Energy for today, energy for tomorrow.